because we still weren't sure about the traitor, and we didn't want to end it without knowing everything. Good call. It feels like you're getting near the end, though I'm sure the time running out's not going to be the end. So I'll go 4 hours today, and maybe longer if it really seems like we're getting close to the end by the end of it, but I feel like 4 hours should be enough. Anyway, let's go.
I'm Monami. By now, there's nothing more for me to say.
I mean, you've been all serious this trial.
Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now.
Yep, they're going for that hope.
Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome. That's why I'm gonna fight too.
I wonder if Nagito thought that his being a suicide would unite everybody under hope.
I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation.
I'm looking forward to it, Mommy.
That's basically it.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
That's a pretty good starting part, I suppose.
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this?
So what exactly were you discussing? I don't
In
know.
the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear.
Uh-huh. That seemed logical.
It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Could have bled out.
Other
And poison, of course. Poison's probably the answer.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is the knife stabbed into his hand, but...
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
I mean, it could just be blood loss.
Hmm.
I'm pretty
If you
sure.
think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds,
Are we finished already?
I feel like it's possible that we overlooked something.
I mean, there's that poison that was in his room.
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Okay, so this is gonna be one of those things where everyone yells something and I gotta agree with something.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
Huh. Okay, what are my options? Monokuma found fire, torture wounds, duct tape, blood on girder, oil later, piece of blue paper, Monokuma's special poison. I mean, this is the logical murder wound or whatever.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
it's not the knife in his right hand, right?
I mean, it could be.
It's not the other wounds, right?
He could have just died of its wounds.
With all those
I think.
wounds. Maybe he simply bled to death.
Yeah, it's possible.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
Probably.
If it's something that can't be seen, maybe he choked himself with a sleeper hold.
Lit.
Or liquefied his guts with a body blow.
Just thinking about it, that's already a horrible death.
Okay, something that can't be seen and might be where I shoot the poison. Either that or liquefied his guts.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right.
It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds,
Yeah, or
maybe he
abuse.
simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
Yep, there we go.
I agree with that. That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility.
We had a half-full bottle of poison.
If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
Like every single time except now, they were like, there are no poisons or toxins in his body. For every, like, murder before now.
Poison?
Uh-huh.
It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
Because we found it in his room.
I remember when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange.
I wonder what.
Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing.
Yep. We're poisoning you something
I see.
rather than brushing your teeth.
Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
Yeah, it's most likely it relates.
If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
Very true.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
Is it? I don't know much
I
about
see.
poison.
You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
Oh yeah, I suppose he is Yakuza. So of course he knows stuff about poison.
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But I mean, that us finding out the cause of death doesn't matter. It's just finding out that he killed himself.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
The little thing.
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Yeah, that little like blue piece of paper or whatever.
Then it's
Probably
impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
Not technically.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
Really, Akane, we're back to this.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
True.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
It was already there.
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible. Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Yeah, what if he just held the
Are
poison
there
in his
any
mouth?
left?
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear.
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method. The hint should be written on the poison's warning label. Maybe.
What? The answer is written on an warning label? No logic dive? Now let's see how this goes. I like this song. Goes really well with this. I don't know what. Holy crap. Almost fell off there. Okay, question 1. What state was the poison gas, solid, liquid? Liquid? Might have been in gas state. Yeah, it was in gas. I think if you take the wrong path, it shouldn't let you see which one's the right path. That's just logical. But I mean, I figured it out before I saw the right path, so I don't really mind that much. Look up. Oh, rip. So it was in a gas state. I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, I know what it means, obviously. I feel like I made that jump. Wish I had that churning power. Jesus. Maybe I should jump over here. Yeah, that was much easier. How did the poison enter? Through his wounds? Or maybe through his nose? It was probably through his nose. I'm dumb. I wasn't paying attention to the things. Whoops. Through its nose. That was just like the only one there, so I went straight for it when it first appeared. Whoops. You know, I probably could have made those jumps earlier if I let off the acceleration. Wait, wasn't there only 2? Okay then.
It's all coming
I
together.
figured it was always 3.
What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
Please handle with care. Volatility. Volatility.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
He breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse, why didn't it kill us?
That's a good question. I would have thought the fans. Maybe the fire.
Crap!
I mean, I guess the smoke makes it. No. I mean,
Crap!
well.
We will never give up!
This is my second death? I think so. I think I even have extra
What
health.
if instead of drinking it...
Okay, let's just get up here. Oh, he goes, switches things. The sprinklers
I
is...
see!
I mean, I don't see why
The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison
I
gas.
think the fans is the best answer, but...
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the
was
poison's
it?
warning label.
Is this in my truth bullets, by the way? Just heavier than air, breaks down in a minute. Oh, susceptible to hydrolysis. Okay. Which I'm guessing that needs water.
Of course! Hydrolysis! The chemical bonds that form the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers.
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air, so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
Oh yeah, good point.
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
Must have.
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning.
But where was the poison?
The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, it was all to keep us from learning the truth.
But why does that
So
matter?
what?
Yeah. As Kazuichi said.
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
What if someone else put the poison in there?
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death.
Huh.
All right. All the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
Well, but
What? There's still more?
Huh. Yeah, why did... I mean, our theoretical motive is that he wanted to kill all of us. Not so sure that Nagito was quite that crazy, though.
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Huh. I'm gonna guess the answer is no. I mean, I feel like if I was in this situation, I'd be jumping at Nagito suicide, but...
There might have been an accomplice.
If there's an accomplice... If there's an accomplice, would they be considered the killer, since Nagito died? That's a question.
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If
he
Nagito
didn't really
committed
need an-
suicide by inhaling poison that he brought,
You didn't really need an accomplice,
then
though.
why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Oh yeah, I suppose... I mentioned that earlier. Where did I go
Anything
so easily?
that looked like poison?
Huh.
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
We just found the half-full bottle. Container. The meat on the bone.
I see!
Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Theoretically.
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
I mean... I'm pretty sure it would just kill him.
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
A glass or plastic container away from the sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
We still would have seen it though, right?
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate.
Yeah.
Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Huh. What if the poison was in the fire grenades?
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
Then wouldn't it have killed us? I don't know.
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
Huh.
That is impossible!
I mean, the fire grenades didn't seem very useful.
I mean, an accomplice? It is just two!
Like, does that really matter all that much?
Hey, Monokuma. If there's an accomplice, would they be considered the killer?
I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right. You're totally right. That's totally it.
What do you mean?
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
But if there's gonna be unexpected twists, we need to find them, Kazuichi. That's safe than sorry. I don't want to get hurt anymore by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I want to just rule this as Nagito's suicide. But if I do that, nobody here will get hurt. But what
That's
if
no
everyone
good.
gets hurt?
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito's suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else.
Uh-huh.
But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us.
I mean, I think either way he'd be sneering at us.
He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
Oh god.
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh? The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga.
Huh.
Still, that's pretty messed up.
Maybe we should call you the ultimate.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
You tell him, Manami.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right?
Is it?
Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
Are you sure?
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
I'm not sure.
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is?
Would that make them the traitor?
Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
Maybe the container was the fire grenades. There you go, Hajime. Like I mentioned. Nagito. Uh-huh. Do I have fire grenades as a clue? I don't think so. Is this gonna be a Hangman's Gambit? I still don't know what this is. Is that what was covering the fire grenades, maybe? Yeah, fire grenade, fire grenades. Yeah, fire grenade. Really? Okay, F. Okay, G, R, nice. E, N, A, D, E. E. No. N, A, D, E.
I got it!
Yep.
I see. I got it.
Would that be...
Huh?
The fire grenades. Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
I think so.
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone.
It was secretly used by someone.
Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
Well, I guess. I was more thinking he, put them with the fire grenade so one of us randomly killed them, theoretically.
That bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Did he need to? Because they don't contain water, do they? It's like carbon dioxide or something.
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the
Yep.
lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
I didn't even know the break room existed until...
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Yep.
Hajime. Could it be?
Hajime.
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Although I guess if the thing was still in his room, then that means it
Seriously?
wouldn't have
That's
been
impossible. Miss Sonia just said so
uncovered.
right now.
Sonia's words are proof. that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Because we randomly found one under her bed. There's...
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Indeed.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash.
It's a piece of trash that covered the fire
The
grenade.
seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room.
Did we find anything else of importance?
We also
The
found a
poison.
gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Oh yeah. Why did we find those though?
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
Good point.
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
You didn't want to die there after all.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in, and died, right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide! Enough already!
But what if one of us threw the fire grenade?
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same.
Like, how's nobody mentioned that yet?
committed suicide. End of story.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding.
But this opens the chance for there to be a killer.
You're right.
In actuality, the truth is
Indeed.
even more horrifying.
What did you say?
Manslaughter.
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
That's the term for accidentally killing someone, I think, right? Manslaughter?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
Isn't there?
No, it's not.
Chiaki?
It's not.
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
It's been obvious to me for like,
Realized
since we
what?
mentioned it.
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison.
The next logical leap is that somebody other than him threw the grenade
So
canister.
when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
Yep.
The horrifying truth?
When one of us threw it.
It probably happened at the same time.
Look at the scene. When we all threw the grenades.
Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
And
When we all
thus,
threw the grenades
somebody
to put out
randomly
the
killed
fire
him.
in the warehouse. The
So,
poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
what? How do you even solve this
If
then?
that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
Different.
One of us?
Well, I guess.
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
At complete random.
Hold on a sec. Then Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
Indeed.
What the heck?
Like, how do we even figure that out?
You said so yourself! You said Nagito committed suicide!
Nagito wanted us to think that.
Then who killed Nagito?
Any of us
You
did.
mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Like, how could you know?
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
Well, Nagito prepared it, didn't he?
I see!
Yeah, I thought we already said that.
It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poisoned grenade?
Nagito?
I see! That was also Nagito.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, Why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
To cause one of us to throw the grenade and kill him.
I see!
Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
That were completely ineffective, ironically enough,
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
to make one of us kill him.
It was